Hello, hello. If you like imperfection, you have come to the right place because I'm certainly not perfect, and neither is my play. Now, who said this next quote about that? Imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. Anyone? I'll let you work it out in the sort of whatever the comments below. Okay, well, I've wasted 30 seconds talking nonsense as usual. We've got plenty more of that to come, but at least Harry is flying up the board like a tornado on acid. And we're going to start off with a nice, calm, chilled, relaxing way to play. Taking on d5, little bit boring. Excuse me. I could have done the same kind of thing and offered the pawn, and I probably would have done after a little bit of warming up, but this is a very safe way to play, and you're basically saying that black's bishop is not very good because it's looking at sort of a brick wall. The bishop would have been better coming this way. Instead, our bishop can be pretty nice, one of these two squares, and this bishop is better. So we're trying to go for a small advantage in this variation, and I've had this a couple of times before. It's perfectly okay. I'm just trying to work out what do we do against this. Again, first round boredom. I'm just going to go here, nice and simple. Doubling the pawns, I think it should be alright for me, because again, my bishop is so active. And yeah, my pawns become weak, but we do get this little open file here. And now we just got to think how to develop the rest of our pieces. Do we flick this in? I don't know if that really helps me. Do we flick this in and play it? Okay, let's go here. And there is some ideas of taking this pawn in some variations now. Now, I don't know where I put this bishop. I normally put it on d3. But I don't know, maybe it's not doing much on that square. It does stop his bishop coming here. Okay, against this, I'm just going to be calm. King in the centre should be okay without the queens on. Not sure this was the most accurate, but I'm trying to make it a little bit hard for this bishop to move, because if it comes to f5, maybe we will get a chance to go g4. Probably bishop e2, aiming for g4. And I definitely don't want to lose that bishop, so we keep that one on. And now I think it makes sense to get rid of this active piece. His pawn's on pre, his knight's offside, his bishop is not looking good to me, and this bishop's not developed. So it should still be a small advantage, even if he goes e5 at some point, which he might be able to do now. And if I take, I probably will take that pawn. I don't need to be scared. f3, g4, other ideas, try and embarrass the knight. That might even be a stronger plan. And we can do that now. Where would he go? This is also quite a good move, because do I want to encourage his knight to come back into a good square? If I go f3, it probably goes f5 with that knight coming around, and his knight is so bad now. Maybe it's time to play a bit more active, because he doesn't have any pawn breaks, so we can start to target and play on the open file. Okay, so he's come here, and taking this looks very possible, but is this even stronger coming back to e2 with g4 being a really powerful idea? Because his pieces, again, they've gone to very bad squares here. I mean, he can go rook c8 trying to come into c2 when g4 might be okay. He gets a check, but maybe I don't even need to allow his rook to come in, because I don't know how he's going to stop me winning a piece now. Okay, so he's come back, but now I can come into c7 with tempo, with the idea of winning a pawn. And I've got a lot of threats. g4, the rook. Now g4 looks good. Is there anything to worry about after g4? e5, don't think so. But maybe this is also good. I mean, I had two good moves there. Win a piece or win a pawn. It's actually better to win a piece, isn't it? I mean, pieces are 3 pawns, pawns are 1. But, you know, at least this way we keep the threat, and kaplonk, there is the threat. And he's completely lost now. So he resigns. Smooth! That was as smooth as a slick piece of snow sliding, maybe a sledge on a slope. I didn't really prepare anything there, so I'm not going to try to be clever. It was just smooth. That was just smooth. Nice. Nice way to start. And we should get a pretty good game review there. And it's a national lottery alert on my phone. And it's... No, I didn't win the Euro Millions. That's a fucker, isn't it? Okay, good. Yeah, so it was a good performance. And... we'll turn the phone off, put it on silent because it's very noisy. Whack it over there in the corner. And yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, okay, we have one miss there, but Queen B3, not the best of moves. It says that knight here was even stronger. That does make a lot of sense, just in case we get this again. But Queen B3 seemed to work pretty well. Again, it was a super safe move. We can go back, but yeah, very good start, very solid start to proceedings. And if we go back, that may be the only mistake I made. But I mean, my position was very easy to play, and this does look very strong though, because I even have ideas of the bishop coming to the square. These are both big threats. So, yeah. But, I mean, Queen B3 was very simple because I've still got a nice edge. It says about half a pawn. And I'm just getting the queens off. And you have to start working out things like E5 when you put the knight there. Is black going to get any compensation? This diagonal looks a little bit weak. For example, the point being, if I do this, is this going to be a little bit weak? Probably not, but... you have to do calculations, and I'm too lazy to calculate in that first game. So this is very smooth, and this is a very nice position because, again, these symmetrical pawn structures, the bishop, I don't think ever really belongs on the fianchetto square because you saw in the game it never had an effect, and it's just hitting this very strong formation. Unless black's able to play e5, which is generally quite hard to play, it's a bad piece. And if you compare it to our dark square bishop, well, our dark square bishop is fantastic. You know, this is a really nice diagonal, can zip in, control the center. And our other bishop is fine. And as the game developed, we played some very normal moves. Don't know if this was best, to be honest. It seemed like a normal move because maybe I'm taking there trying to give my opponent a backwards pawn. And if my opponent takes, maybe I can take with a pawn and grab this one. But even taking with a bishop would have been simple. And now this maybe helps my king come to a good square. And my opponent here starts to go wrong. You can see that knight e4 is the computer's idea, where he's going to get double pawns because he's going to have to take this way. That might have been better, but this is definitely wrong because this is such a bad square for the knight. Yeah, he's got a one-move idea, but you know, when you're creating threats, you've got to look at your opponent's obvious ways to get out of the threats. And you know, the only obvious way to get out of the threat here is to just move the bishop back. And how has this move helped him? And this is actually quite a standard, dare I say it, beginner's mistake. Putting a move like this where it kind of creates a threat, because we all want to create threats in our games, but sometimes creating threats can just be bad. And don't create a threat if your opponent can easily deal with that threat, and it kind of makes your position worse. Why? It's basically a trap. It's more of a trap or a trick than anything else. And tricks are not good, you know. Don't go for tricks, you know. I mean, we all love tricks and traps, but if they make your position worse, you're never going to become a better player. So we're into the second round, and we got a very tough game now. And I'm just going to play the same opening I always do. My opponent's going for the BOGO Indian. Now, one thing I've got to do against these high-rated players is keep my time up. Got green tea here, lovely. And he's keeping it maybe very, very solid with this idea. Okay, we'll take the bishops. Why not? And very tempted to play this. Fuck it, let's do it. Is a piece of philosophy that is very dangerous to live by, but a lot of fun. And I'm just going to play it. Why not? And here, do I want him taking this? I don't know. Do I? Okay, let's just continue with this idea. And do I even continue now, or do I just tuck this bishop away? Do I move my rook? Interesting. Okay, I'm going to go here. Interesting position, it looks like, to me. I don't know where I guess I'm castling this way, but let's not worry about the king. And maybe my idea is just to play g6 here. So my opponent's probably going to go for this, but let's keep going. So he's gone f5. Now I have to take that, otherwise what's the point of opening this up? And he's got some good knights. Is he coming here? Quite doable, isn't it? But if I go here, he can grab that one. So this is his one idea. Now I can place a bishop over here, but then my pawn's a little bit loose. If we go here, g6, and I want to try to attack this square. It's got a nice hold on this one, though. This move also very tempting. So here, knight here. Am I really going to let him take that? Rook here, he grabs that pawn. Do I sacrifice? Okay, do we sacrifice that? Let's do it. Let's give him this Harry pawn. You know, risky, obviously risky stuff. And now I want to play this move because I want to kill the bishop. And I want to give myself the d4 square. And if he goes here, I want to then try to get rid of this knight on e4 with some natural move like this. So he's capturing. Now, am I going to find that I've just created another big weakness? But I'm not too worried about dropping pawns. I have this idea. Bishop coming over here looks natural. Bishop takes. But we do have to find the compensation here. Knight here. Feels like I should have compensation, but maybe I'm just imagining it. Knight here takes, knight into f5. Looks interesting, doesn't it? Okay, let's go for that. So we can't allow... I've got to move quicker. This is the problem. It's a fascinating position, but we've got to move quicker. He's got to go bishop takes pawn. Knight in g6. I mean, we could flick this one in as well. Is that a good move to play? If he takes here first, just to try to bring another piece in. And then we want to go sort of queen c2 castles. It looks like decent play to me. This position. Bishop takes, I mean, knight here, g6. Also very tempting, but then I've got to find a move. And I can't see anything obvious. I've got f3. And an initiative there. But is it enough? Okay, so he's gone knight takes. Didn't expect. Now this move is obviously his idea. And if knight here, queen over here. Okay, let's dive into the tactics. Let's just dive in. And now we have to go for this, clearly. I mean, this is the idea, and I mentioned earlier, this is a key square, but what is going on here? All sorts of mayhem, right? Because f2, weak spot. And does he have king here, knight takes? Bishop takes, knight takes here. I've given up the queen. He feels that his position is not good, so he gives up the queen. Now, must be better here. I don't want to double my pawns, so we're gonna flick this check in, and if I can keep my speed up, surely this position is just good for me. Many tempting moves here. I don't know what was best, but I'm trying not to go down on time here because this must be a winning position. King here loses. Sorry, knight here loses to check. He comes back. Now he wants this square. This castle, take that square away. Again, wish I had a little bit more time. I want this move, but bishop d5 was working. And I don't want that move because he just takes it with the bloody piece. Now takes... Oh, so slow, Simon. You're so slow. You want this move now, but I don't want to get pinned horrendously when I play it. So I'm trying to get my king to relative safety here. And now do we just get rid of some pieces because we're low on time? That is what I'm figuring. And I wish I had more time in this incredibly complex position. Why didn't I take that fucking piece? This is a very good question that I should have answered, but I didn't. What am I doing here? Intense position. Intense. But I do have a queen, and I hear the queens are pretty handy, but he's got a shit load of pawns here. Fuck! Fell for a knight check, you idiots! And like that, I throw it away. Oh, it was a nice game as well. Just can't handle that shorter timeness. Oh, I did warn you at the end, at the start. It feels like the end. And unbelievably up and down game where you could see I'm winning for most of it. And just as the pressure came in, forget about this accuracy because it was so complicated. It's pretty irrelevant, this, you know, up and down, up and down. Again, this is what the computer doesn't understand, but I missed many wins there. Ah, and my position did seem absolutely fantastic. I mean, this move, knight takes straight away. I just fall apart with the clock. I'm winning a whole... he can resign because both his pieces are pinned. I just take here, right? Completely game over. I mean, it's not any questions about it. And if we go through some of the parts, well, it looks like I'm doing pretty well. Fuck. Fuck a duck. And now, well, this move, it says is a blunder, but again, I thought it was quite interesting. This is where we don't always believe the computer because humans play very differently to computers, and you want to get the initiative. It's only a pawn. My other options, like it says this is best, and of course I saw this, but we have locked up the king side. Maybe this is best, but we've locked up the position. Oh my god, that's so flipping annoying. So we give him this pawn, and now it says this is a mistake. But again, we open up lines, and practically very hard for my opponent to find the right move. Now he finds this move, my knight comes in, and I thought his whole idea is knight takes e3, which he should play. I was hoping I had queen here, but maybe I don't. Let's have a look. I don't because of this one, and this is just winning for him. So he missed this move. So again, it shows you how complex these positions are for humans. And after this, well, bang. He has to really give up his queen, and now I must be easily winning here. Bishop g2 is good. Castling's good. This is a miss apparently, but okay, we're still doing very well here. let's simplify. I mean, again, not the best moves, but impossible to find the best moves here. And here, this is all good. Good. We're still winning. Everything's going well. And grab a pawn. Okay, but the time situation. We defend. And now, yeah, of course, double blindness from both of us there. Oh, shit, we got another game. Okay, let's get on. All right, we can still come back into it. We played well there, I think. I'm happy the way I played. I'm going to play the English defence. I like this opening. It's a lot of fun to play. And I mean, bishop b7 is okay. And the point is you give up the centre, but you get very interesting ideas. And this was an idea of England or Britain's first ever Grandmaster, Tony Miles. And Tony Miles played this idea when computers were like just nothing. They didn't even exist. The concept of computer just didn't even exist in the 70s and 60s. Is that right? Well, I don't know. It wasn't alive, so I assume that is the case. And this line, I think white is okay, but there's a lot of tricks here. White has to be very, very careful because the whole idea of just pawn takes pawn is very strong. And also now we've got this threat. So I don't know what white plays here. I can't remember the theoretical idea. That's why the reason you play check first is it's quite important to loosen up this square. Now, if they take, I can probably take on g2. I'm threatening to take here, winning a pawn. So I don't know what white plays, but there's probably some good move here for white. But it's blitz. Again, we let white worry about it. So, yeah, it's a very interesting idea. This is your lever in the English defence. You use it to break the centre down. Very important f5 move. And a lot of the positions, they can turn into a Dutch position. So you get that kind of a little bit of going there into the Dutch. And my opponent having a very long think now. Oh, that last game. But okay, it's one game. Come on, let's just focus. I'm not talking to myself, of course. I used to. I don't know. Clearly a sign of madness. But when I was younger, a lot of people are now my contemporaries. Now they said when you were analysing younger, Simon, you used to talk to yourself at the board. And I don't know who it was. Maybe Ivanka Huska, good friend of mine, and she'd go and went, well, when I was playing you, Simon, one time you were talking about the variations of your board, and I was just listening to what you were saying. So I was there going like, so maybe that's why I'm doing this now, right? Because it's what I've always bloody done. Camera or no camera, I'm like this normally when I'm playing a game of chess. Just in my head. It's a scary thought, isn't it? But, you know, I'm there, I'm like f5, f takes e5. You know, I don't know. I'm dyslexic, so maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe I'm just mental. Probably something to do with that. I don't know. Why did I talk out loud? I mean, it's like the mad person when you're in a town and they're talking to themselves as they walk down the road. Generally, moving to the other side of the road is a wise... What's my opponent doing here? I mean, you know, it can't be lost for him. Generally, moving to the other side of the road when the mad person is there is wise. Okay, right, so he's gone here, but he spent an awful amount of time. So let's just grab that pawn. I don't think we need to be scared. And this is probably the way that he should play. And now we can go here and make it a sacrifice. So we can play like a more sane person. So, of course, we're not going to play the sane move. We're going to go here. And I'm just going to take this one first. Yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing there because I want to get a rook here, right? And I didn't want him to... Okay, so now we're going to continue by just trying to stop him castling. We're going for the big number. Now this does stop him castling, but what else do we have? Well, this has got to be it, hasn't it? Now he can take this pawn, of course. So he's come back, and now I've got this f5 move. Got knight coming in as well. There's a lot of tempting moves here, right? Let's go in. Let's move them in, and we'll take here quickly. We've got this big time advantage, and I think this is quite a big threat. So he's decided to swap the queens off, but it's a bit sad, isn't it? Let's just grab another pawn. And we are, as long as I don't trap my knight, famous last words, Simon, famous. I should be okay here, right? I mean, we've got a major time advantage. And got to be a bit careful. Okay, now, I mean, it looks I thought he might try some shit like this, but he didn't. And you know, whenever you go material up, you not whenever. He did. I mean, this position is actually fucking dangerous. I've just realised. He's got check coming in. He's got this coming in here, and it's a little bit scary. What have I done? Okay, let's just do this and hope, and maybe we're gonna get mated. Now knight here. Why he should have played quicker all the way, all the time. Do we have to come back this way? It looks bloody scary, this, doesn't it? I think I relaxed because I saw his time. Okay, but actually, he's playing. When he had no time at all. He's obviously like 3,000 at bullet. This guy, he played really well. I think when I saw he had like 8 seconds, I just turned off and assumed the game's winning. Massive mistake. Don't ever relax in chess. And the final position, he is better here, but he has just spent too much time. I mean, he's got this check, and even though I'm 3 pawns up, he's got stuff like this coming in. This check I was going to go d5, so why does d5 not work? Oh my god, this look at this amazing move. Really? I mean, to find this with no time. What the fuck is that? Boom! And then he's coming in, he's grabbing this, he's grabbing this. Wow! Wowzers. So, God, I did relax there a little bit too much, didn't I? And it was all going swimmingly. Let's have a look what the opening says. I mean, it can't be... Okay, so maybe actually, White's already in trouble here. Bishop f1. You can't play a move like that. So I don't know where he went wrong. Where did he go wrong? Oh, so he's got to play queen takes. And then after queen g4, he takes here. I take here. It goes here. Oh my god. That is... So the line he has to play, look at this, is here. And we do the same thing. Now he takes here. It looks like I'm winning because I'm attacking these two. But after queen here, winning a piece, he has this. And actually he's winning because of some madness going on there. Wow. What a line. No one could find that over the board, right? I mean, really? So actually, pawn takes a big mistake. And how should I put the ball in the back of the net here? Yeah, I mean, this move, okay, actually, it's one of the top computer moves. That's surprising. And now I should come in, maybe, straight away and just go for the rook. But okay, there's nothing wrong with opening up lines. And this looks fantastic. And now, yeah, bishop f3, he plays this. So I should move the bishop back and keep the force field. That makes sense. It's a very strong piece. Stop him castling, move it back, and then my knight can come in. And if he takes here, what do I do here? I just play rook e8, and I'm threatening rook takes e3, pawn takes queen e2, checkmate. Yeah, this is crushing. Absolutely crushing. Okay. All right. Interesting stuff, yeah? Interesting... I mean, we can have a look what the game review says. What kind of... I mean, we should do. I mean, I don't... Why do I even bother looking at this? Because... It's never... It only depresses me. Because it just says... Because the computer is wrong. And it just tells you how bad you are. So, okay, around here, this is where... Okay, that point. And yeah, my opponent played well. He just spent... he can't spend. That's like me spending taking a massive think. You know, you can't do that. You can't take that long to think. So we're on 2 out of 3, pretty solid. If we win the next one, 3 out of 4, first half. We'd love to get to 8 points. It's always the big ask. 8 out of 11, Title Tuesday. It's one of the strongest open events. I say open, it's not really open because you have to be a title player. But it's one of the strongest events online. Many wonderful players in it, and Hikaru. That's a joke. many wonderful people in the tournament, and Hikaru. That's a joke. Laugh. I'm joking. And I'm just jealous because he's so damn good. I mean, what would you give to have his skill? What would you give to have Hikaru's skill? I mean, you would be tempted to give your soul, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd be a little bit tempted just to give to give a little bit of the soul away. I mean, you would, wouldn't you? You know, if you could do, my pronunciation is probably terrible, but what's it? Fastian, deal with the devil, and it's like, okay, you can be as strong as Hikaru. You can have, you know, all the glamour, the blitz, the fans, you know, the Hikaru fan club, which would die for him. Let's do this again because it worked out all right. Would you give your soul away? Well, Mr. Devil, I will dance on the crossroads and have a think about it. I don't know. Oh my god, we're getting the same thing again. Can you Adam and Eve it? What are the chances of getting the same variation twice in a row? And we're doing the Tony Miles, thank you, my friend, idea. And we've just looked at this literally a minute ago in analysis. So, happy days. Now, what the hell country is that? Kazakhstan. It doesn't look like the Kazakhstan flag. And clearly I am like 2900 flag noter, but I've now gone down to 2800. Okay, so we got the same position again, which is wild. Absolutely wild. And this move must be playable, but now we can certainly use our queen what should be in quite a good way, because we're not just attacking the bishop, we're threatening that one because of the pin on the knight. We're also coming over and maybe just grabbing this pawn, which we could now do unless there's anything better, but this looks alright. And are we going to get greedy and grab another pawn here? My opponent now aiming to castle queenside, which makes some sense because my opponent's got to confuse the situation. But I think it's now time to take this one off and maybe just, I say, simply grab here. Now if my opponent does castle, I can take on a2. I've won 2 central pawns. I'm 1 move away from castling. So again, this English defense seems to be quite a success. Now, obviously, exchanging queens would be a win for me because I'm 2 whole pawns up. So look at my beautiful center. So we can just offer the exchange of queens. Now, do I get clever and take with a knight? Bishop takes, rook here, check, king here. Or do I just play it very simple and take with a bishop? Because I can't see any other move my opponent can play. My opponent has to take here. I think knight takes is a bit risky, and there's no point taking any risks when you've got a big advantage. So let's just keep it very simple. And these pawns can be a target, but they are extra pawns. So how do we play this? Now here, the opponent's knight comes in. Here, take this one. So I've got to be a little bit careful. Do I take another one off? Do I move the knight here even? That's interesting. Let's try that one. I'd love to win this bishop because the only advantage my opponent has is the 2 bishops. And this knight, you know, now that I've taken on my opponent's pawns, it can't be moved. So it's a great blockader. This one I move my bishop, so I think we can just develop. And after this, I can even maybe take on f2. And should be safe enough here. But of course, it's only 2 pawns. And let's not relax like I've done before. And maybe I'm going to play h6 to give my king an escape square, stop these ideas. You still got to be patient in winning these positions. You know, I do hate it when players say, oh, the game will win itself, right? No game wins itself, or the rest of it is a matter of technique. Old chess books always used to say that. It's a terrible mistake, because even positions like this where you've got 2 extra pawns, it's like, okay, you have to play well to win it. Have to. So my opponent's stopping any funky business over here. And I don't know, do I move a rook to the middle? What do I double on the file? What do I play a move that should help my position? I mean, if I go knight here even, is this a way to try and exchange the pieces? Got to watch out for this one. But again, the way, I mean, one way you can try to win, matter of technique, is just to make exchanges, right? So my opponent not going for that, but I do now have this check minimum, but I have some other ideas like this as well. This, I mean, can I take here? Takes, grab, bishop here. It looks a bit risky. I'm going to keep it really safe here. Opposites colour bishop doesn't matter when there's so many pieces on the board. And then I might have been able to go greedy and grab another pawn, but there's really no need to grab another pawn. I've got this beautiful square, as long as I cover this one. And my opponent coming in here, but then rook here. So I think we can do this. Could have taken there maybe. That might have been a bit more accurate. And trying to force more exchanges. And what I mean by that, trying to force the knights off the board. And we are. And I don't know if my opponent can take here because there's a rook here. It looks pretty dangerous. So my opponent hasn't taken there. And now I'd love to block this diagonal up. So I'm going to be even greedier. I'm going to get rid of that pawn so my opponent can't play f4. And now I'm going to block the bishop off. And just make sure that's covered. And that should hopefully end everything my opponent's got. Any sacrifice there? I can't see it happening. So we will come around to e6, try to make more exchanges. My opponent now, again, like the last game, playing some good moves, actually. We'll flick this one in. Force that rook away. And maybe we put pawns on here and here, because that gives us a nice stable. Oh, we've got to watch out for nothing at all. Okay, and my pawns are blockading everything, so now I can start using them. Why not use those pawns in the middle to force my opponent backwards? And here they come. Kill that bishop, and we have actually just killed that bishop. And that should be the end. Quite smooth, right? That was good. So I actually think I'm playing all right today. That was smooth. That was like keeping control after winning those two pawns. Not relaxing. But this opening's been a bloody amazing. The English defence. Yeah. Now there is a little break here. So we're maybe have a little look. What do we reckon a game review is going to be? I reckon like 103% probably. Knowing chess.com. It's got to be good. 94. There you go. After the last one, the second game was quite low, but I don't know why I get excited when I keep saying this is nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know. It's kind of like, you know, at school when you get an A, which I've never felt. So I don't know what that emotion feels like. But you know, if you ever get an A in school, that's what that must be. You know, the game review must be similar to that, like the teacher saying, "Yes, Simon, you're a very clever boy, aren't you?" You know, like a dog. yes. So, because of my misspent youth and all the shit I did at school, that's probably why I get so excited, I imagine. Okay, back in a second. I'm going to pause it here, but you won't notice the difference. And let's try to kick some ass in the second section. We're on 3 out of 4. It's a bloody good score. If we get another 3 out of 4 in the next one, 6 out of 8, we're rolling. Come on. Could it be this week? I reckon it might be. It might be. Okay, so we're off into the second part of Title Tuesday. You get the first 4 games. I break it up. Next 4 games, round 5 to 8. This is where I sometimes have a disaster. Not today. And obviously, if I get 3 out of 4, I'll be on 6 out of 8. That would be monstrous. Love to get 8 points out of 11. That's a massive score. 7 points out of 11 is a good score. So I'm just going to stick to this for now. And I hate playing against the bloody this one. But okay. Is he going to Benko me? Oh, he's bloody Benko'd me. Now, I really got to find a better line against this. I can't even remember what I'm supposed to... My mind's gone absolutely blank here. Okay, so obviously take. Now, what is there? I used to play... Okay, I think... I'm trying to play the Nest Frappe attack, but I forgot. It's been so long since I've had this. Okay, we're going to go here. And I think after takes, we now go here, right? This is the squad. My opponent's playing really quickly. And I think this is the Nest Frappe attack. And this move, not so sure about, because I remember this now being a very dangerous gambit line, where you basically give up everything and more. And again, I love giving up pawns. And now what's the point of this? Here, maybe? Threatening lots of, hopefully, sexy stuff. And my opponent's got to have a think here. And I think this is very dangerous for black. But black's okay. But again, this is the kind of position I enjoy playing because I have the initiative. Now, if he goes here, I can take and take here. Other ideas, queen here. I think something like rook a5 might be the best move here. You shouldn't think it because you put it into your opponent's mind somehow, I feel. But rook a5 might not even be the best move. Okay, so he's gone over here. Now, queen here seems logical, hitting a couple of things. How does he defend against this move? Well, let's play it quickly because we have created two big threats. Because the thing is, I don't like defending. So when my opponent plays the Benko in a long play game, I might grab the pawn. And I don't think that Benko is a great opening. But I prefer, most definitely, attacking. And, yeah, why can't I take that one? Let's grab it. My opponent's going to have some compensation here. But is it enough? I don't think it can be. Let's just take that one. And now we need to get safe. This move maybe is coming. I prefer getting the initiative. But okay, so I've got a rook. But my opponent's got potentially a very big center. So again, this position is actually, I think, a lot messier than, you know, my knight. My knight could be in trouble as well. Then it could be. Now, I don't want to castle that way. This move is potentially coming. I do have there, but then queen here. Weird position, this. Rook here, bishop here, takes here. No, let's not do that. Do we come simply back? Do we come here? It's complicated, this. I'm spending too long. We'll go for this one. I've got to move quicker now. It's a problem when you play complicated chess like I do. You can burn a lot of time. Here. So my opponent's come back. Maybe we just need to keep up on the clock and play quickly. Now, because he's got bishop here and d5 now. So I don't really want to lose a piece. And this move might actually be good anyway. So I mean, taking a castle, but I'm giving him compensation here. More than I think he deserves. I didn't get castled. You can take rook here, take here, then rook b1. Okay, this move, and then he's going to grab here. But what if I come over here? He's going to go here. My bishop comes back. I'm getting kicked back a lot. And this is what I was saying. It wasn't simple as I thought, this position. Getting really pushed back here. Time low. Definitely got compensation now. You've got to remember, a rook is a rook, though. Okay, I'll get castled. Clearly. Castling. Now, where does this guy want to go? Don't know if this is correct. Strange position. Hard to find the right pieces, the right squares of my pieces, because I put them on bad squares. So I'm being quiet because it is immensely hard to play this, actually. Meaning I need to think here. Now I'm hoping he's got queen here. Fuck. Winning. Oh, I've got knight here. Hoping this is getting better because I've got rid of some of those pawns in the middle. It's got this one. I need to get out of dodge with the queen. Let's create some of my own threats. That's where I'm strongest. I was hoping this is a threat. Shit, time, and I've just blundered a piece because of my bloody clock. Idiot. Idiot. Very risky that. Oh, my queen! Fucking hell, Simon! As soon as I get short time. What is wrong with me? Ah, mate. That was atrocious. I've done all the hard work there as well. Oh no, that was so bad. Yeah, it's as soon as I get under 20 seconds that I just panic, and I've done most of the hard work there. I won those two central pawns, completely winning, and obviously just dropped a piece, dropped a queen. Yeah. Okay, I mean, we can still get 3 out of 4 in this bit, which is the aim, so it's not the end of the world, but I'm making it so much harder by throwing away a completely winning position. I don't even want to see what the teacher's going to say here. I don't even care, because it's going to be horrible. It says we both played terribly, which is possible. And my opponent missed. Yeah, it wasn't as simple, you know. I mean, I go wrong around here, but it's. My opponent had the initiative, and around here he even had some good moves. Okay, so this is maybe where I start to go wrong. It's always good to see where you go make obvious mistakes, just because you can test your way you're thinking, and hopefully you can think differently. And Queen D5 did seem a bit wrong, didn't it? Oh, but that was so annoying at the end there, completely winning. But okay, we can still get 3 out of 4. Anything but 3 out of 3 now. I'm going to be a little bit annoyed with myself. But 3 out of 3, 6 out of 8. We can do it. Oh, Muppet. And obviously this is not enough, but he has the pressure. He has the pressure. And I should have gone rook d1. So I was thinking about this move, but bishop here, rook here. I thought he'd go queen here, but then I just go knight takes. So I'm just missing. Yeah, I should go rook d1. Is just remember I was talking about this move, because you don't want to start playing passively. You want to play always in chess as actively as you can, unless you have to do something else. And you can see the name of the opening. Look at it, Nes Frappe Frapp Attack. No idea why, but the reason I didn't play this, because this is clearly just a very good move, is that I saw this move, but I stopped my analysis at this point. It was a complicated position, but I was only looking at queen takes f8, but then I saw queen takes, and I'm doing badly. But very simply, I can just take the bishop, and I've now a piece up, but it doesn't have the same play. Okay, so we've got big game here. We need to win 3 out of 3. We're playing Frode, who's a dangerous player from Norway. Actually, I played Frode before. Frodo Baggins. Okay, what are we going to do against this? Okay, we haven't done a black lion for a while. Let's get a black lion in. And okay, we can play e5 probably straight away against this, so we will. And probably the most dangerous system my opponent could play in these lines is something with this now. Can we go knight c6 for a change? I'm kind of freestyling a bit here, which is always a bit dangerous. And this move now at some point, but let's just keep it solid. Because I quite like playing... I didn't go for this stuff. I quite like playing closed positions, so I'm hoping he'll close it down, but he's not going to. You can see he's keeping attention. So I need to find this guy somewhere to go. So fianchettoing looks as good as any option. Do I even have d5 available? Did I have that move? Because of some idea of e4. Maybe, but I didn't play it, did I? So let's not worry about it. Let's continue just shuffling pieces. It's much easier than calculating. The other thing I probably want to do is put the bishop on f8. It's a bit like a Raul Lopez. So let's do that. Let's put the bishop on f8. Because you open up the rook. And the bishop's better on g7. So we're both continuing to shuffle. This might be a bit annoying, actually. Because it's a bit of a pin. But I guess I've got knight d7 or something. Should be alright. And I'm just continuing to shuffle those pieces. Okay, so now he's closed the position. And I like this structure because I feel that you always get some chances as black on the king side, but maybe I'm just imagining it. Imagining stuff over here. Well, I've got to bring the knight around here, but how am I ever going to get chances over here? We've got to, and he's going to get chances over here very quickly. Shit, this is not actually very good, is it? A5, and he's already getting chances over there. Bloody hell. Do we come in here? Well, okay, we got to, haven't we? We got to complicate as quickly as possible and try to make use of the rook. Okay, good thing I saw that move well in advance, isn't it? And this gives me some counterplay, at least, because of multiple ideas, including stuff going on here. Now, like this move. Trying to compensate in the center. It's useful because I hit this knight as well. I think this is okay. So this idea of putting the rook on e8 was clearly a good idea. Now if he takes it, it's useful I've got bishop takes, otherwise I'd be losing a piece. Probably want to swap off that now. And let's get greedy. Let's grab this one, shall we? Let's grab that pawn. Now rook takes normal, but knight takes interesting. Knight takes is more critical, but I could get in trouble here. But again, like I said earlier, you've got to play the most critical moves. I can support my knight, and my knight effectively could be very good there. Could also be bad, but I've also got this backup move, just retreating the knight. So I don't think it's a dangerous pin. So we're a pawn up now. d5 is a nice move to play because it gives my bishop more oomph as well. Okay, so he's coming in here. Put the queen somewhere safe where the knights can't hit it. Little bit of pressure there. Now, is it time to come back, or do we have something a bit more oomphy? Now, rook here. When the knight, and then he's coming down. Here. Okay, let's go here. My king has an escape square. I don't know. This is a bit. It's a bit strange move, wasn't it? That actually, I'm not really sure what I'm trying to achieve with that one. Okay, so where does the knight want to go? Honestly, don't know. Okay, I'm going to come back because this square looks like a square. Okay, now strange position. Do we come here now? Knights are so tricky. But if I say I'm going to get forked, I'm going to jinx myself. And I don't want to do that. Okay, his knights are really bloody tricky though. Don't jinx yourself, Simon. So, complicated position. The extra pawn is irrelevant at the moment. didn't want to allow his queen to come in here, so I'm trying to play it cleverly. And g6 at least gives my king this square, but my bishop is shit. So, don't know. Over there, it just looks a bit weird. So now he's coming in this way. So is it time to move my king? Move my bishop. Let's move the bishop. And now we come with the king. Not sure if I've got what I'm threatening here. Okay, what's he doing as well? What's that move all about? He wants to go here or something? Does my knight come back now? Complicated. Do I put my bishop? Do I give my king a little bit more room? Okay, okay. Is my rook getting trapped? Fuck, is my rook getting trapped? Getting so confused by this position. My rook is terrible. Okay, I'm just going to shut up now because obvious reasons. Got to watch out for this. Check, thankfully. Check. We like checks. We like them a lot. Let's get on a nice diagonal there. I could have taken it. Oh my god, what have I done? It's okay. Just calm down, Simon. Little shaky at the end there, but we got there. We got there in the end. Oh dear. Okay, very complicated. The extra pawn was kind of irrelevant. Well, it's never irrelevant because, you know, if you can just keep avoiding blundering, you can have a pawn up in the ending. But those knights are very tricky, and I'm sure I was worse at some stage there. Don't think there's any doubt about it. That I must have been. And if we have a look at the old graph, well, okay. I mean, you know, I always had the better of it, and you can see these things are so wrong. I mean, why is it telling us that we're playing like idiots? Do we really want to know that, teacher? No. I'm just trying to think of the Pink Floyd lyrics. Teacher, no, leave those kids alone. And I missed something big around here. So what did I miss here? What did I miss? It felt like I might have a good move here. Is there something big here? I can't even see it now. Let's go back and have a look at it this way, shall we? Interesting game. Interesting game. So, opening must be doing well here. Not as well as I thought. And this is where it got a little bit scary because my rook's so bad. My opponent's knights are very good. And I now have knight takes c4. Of course I do. Because my queen's on the rook. But this move seemed good because my rook frees up. And I was very keen to get my rook, you know, somewhere a bit more happy. And now I think I'm over any worse now. So I don't think I was ever clearly worse in that game. So we need, okay, we need 2 out of the next 2 now. Oof. And let's have a look at some of the other games. I mean, one more game. Is there one more game going on? No, next game should start very soon. There is a couple of games going on. And the standings? Are we interested in the standings? Well, not really, because we're never up there. Who would you like to win out of everyone on this list? It has to be Eric, because I don't really know anyone else. I've never spoken to anyone else. But I remember, like, me and Eric, we found some bars in Berlin with Fiona and had a very nice night out. Eric had his fan club over there. Eric's got in a town, like, you know, the Eric or the Chess Bar Appreciation Society, and they had some house party we went to. But I was actually the sensible one. I was working the next day, so I actually decided to go to bed rather than get involved with the madness. But Berlin was interesting. I'd love to explore all the weird bars over in Berlin. Very weird place at times. And where's Hikaru then? Magnus Carlsen on 5 points. Okay, so we're only 1 point away from Magnus. That's not bad, is it? 1 point away from Magnus. But we want to win those next 2 games. That's the big one. And where is Hikaru? Hikaru, we're only half a point off Hikaru. Shows you how tough it is, right? It's not easy. There I was earlier saying, you know, what would you sell to become Hikaru? And yeah. So next game should start soon. So okay, but there are some things going on. This is the last game, timeout, and we need to get 2 out of 2. We're going to get a very tough game, I think. Will be coming up. Okay, this is the last game. But we might have white. We can definitely get 2 out of the next 2. Focus. 6 out of 8. Then I only need 2 out of 3. It is possible. You know, 8 points out of 11 is a monstrous score. 7 points is also good. They should now agree a draw. Are they going to? Come on, agree a draw. We don't need to see this anymore. And it's very hard to find the draw button. If I was trying to agree a draw here, I'd lose on time because I'd be like, I'm so slow with the mouse. This mouse is just like, I'd be like, by the time I found the draw button, I would have lost on time. So actually, I don't offer draws when I'm short. I don't offer draws anyway, but I try not to offer draws when I'm short time because I would lose on time. Okay, so we've got a tough game here against a high-rated player from Turkey, and we got black again. So I think we'll stick with the black line, or you know, that wasn't really the black line the last game. It was more of a I don't know, something. But let's get the black line in. We haven't had fun with the black line for ages. The black line is where you basically play all the normal moves in the center. Now this move is a good line. I've always thought this is a very good line, and I think now this is what I recommend in my chessball course as an interesting option. And I'm trying to work out what the point is. I guess it's to go here. And now we can change the structure. Okay, so I made a bit of headway. Let's castle. And what do we take with now? This seems a bit peculiar, actually. I mean, they're both quite tempting. The knight can find some nice squares. But pawn takes to stop his one coming in. I think pawn... Oh, no. Let's watch out for the pawn coming here. Wow, pawn here. I could have lost straight away there with that idea. Very dangerous. So you have to be on your guard at all times. Now this is a slight issue that we could face. Okay, we're going to put the bishop on what should be a better square, and now f4 is certainly the real test. He's stopping anything coming here first, so he's playing it safe. Now, did we go bishop here? I think we're also cover that one because we'd be very happy to swap it off. We can go g6, bishop g7 again. If he comes in here, knight c4 seems okay for now. And if we have to come back with the knight, it's not the end of the world. Maybe a little bit better for white because he's got a little bit more space, but I think we're pretty solid here. So we're not too worried at the moment. Yeah, okay, so he is just improving his position. We'll try to do the same. This is an open file. When we're forced to move the knight, we might as well keep this one open. And now I'm going to take away f5 for his knight, give this square for my bishop. Don't want to lose this pawn. But yeah, this pawn's a bit funny, isn't it? a3 now. And you can just start playing over here. Yeah, that's annoying move, actually. So how do we avoid getting ground down here? Because takes, rook takes, this pawn's going to drop. Unless we go okay, so we can take and try this. If he wins the pawn, we do get the c4 square, which might activate our pieces. If not, I'm hoping we can take and get rid of our weakness. Not very inspiring so far, though. I haven't really had many chances in this game. And he might better win this pawn. He might better play f4 now. Maybe my knight should have been coming back here anyway. Who knows? But the knight can come this way. So it's looked like the best chance. And he's now having a think. He's controlling the game very well so far. He hasn't taken any risks. He's played good moves. Very good moves up to this point. And hasn't let me gain any good chances. But we've kept our pieces on reasonably sensible squares. So we shouldn't be a lot worse. And if we lose this pawn, okay, he's still got to convert that position. And he can't win this pawn easily. So he has come here, which looked like the right idea. Now I'm hoping this bishop's a little bit loose and knight b6 is a good counterattack. So he's come in. Now I have to take, but then knight b6 he's going to take. So takes, knight here, takes. Well, I have to take because his knight is just too strong. I don't know what I'm thinking. Now knight here, takes, the queen's come off. He wins this pawn. But then my rooks have... It's going to be a bit of a race. This pawn's going to be very strong, but my rooks are looking good. And my dark square bishop is very tasty. So this is definitely critical. So this takes here, rook takes here, pawn takes here, and I come in with a rook to the 7th rank. Should be enough compensation. His bishop is actually not very good now because his pawn gets in the way. My bishop is a lot more punchy in these positions. So we should take here. We can't just sit and defend. And of course he can win this pawn, which he has. So this is the critical line. And of course we come in. Now rook f2 he'd like to play, but bishop d4 would then be strong. So we're coming straight in. But of course, the other thing I've got to worry about is this pawn. But my threat is rook here, bishop f3, check, rook h2, checkmate. So that's why I initially said it's going to be a race with this guy coming down the board. And bishop f3 might be a very nice... He's found a nice move here. Found a nice move. Now I can take, but then this pawn starts to get quite worrying, yeah? But we're going to play it and we're going to take this square. And maybe I had something better, but obviously with the time scenario, it's never easy. Okay, let's keep it solid. Say that. And that pawn I've got to hopefully create some traps with. We've got major time advantage. Now this one looks the trickiest move to play. Now this is a big check, which he's defended well. This one, shit, I've fallen for this. My God, I've fallen for a bloody trick again. Oh, in a nice position. Oh, man. And he had no time on the clock as well. Why am I doing this to myself? Okay. And my position is completely lost now. I'm probably getting mated as well. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, man. So annoyed with myself. Oh, I had this game wrapped up. Oh, again, I think I played pretty well there, but I mean, maybe I shouldn't be too upset with the draw. We can still win the next one, but every little point we give away, or half a point, is going to make it very hard. We'll struggle in the middle section. We need to win the next game to get to 5.5 with 3 games to go. But yeah, again, it was going all right, and let's just have a little look. So it was going, you know, quite juicy until I just blundered the exchange. And the end, of course, he's winning, but the time situation was rough. And this position is probably around even. Well, the computer says, but it's a bit easier for me to play because he's a little bit exposed over here. And it's unbelievable. I thought he lost on time as well. Like, this is getting very tricky for him now. And bishop d4 makes a lot more sense. We played this move. And after bishop b3, I now played my next move so quickly. Because I just saw the idea. I thought this move very tricky for him. I'm going to come over here, but I missed his idea. And we can now go back to putting the rook in, which is just checkmate +8. And I had enough time there. That was a classical case of not using my time well. Had I could have used another 10 seconds and I would have found this move. We don't have to worry about the a-pawn. It can always be taken. We maybe can let him queen. This is a very nice line. Let's say he goes here. I can go here. We can let him queen because the threat of rook here is unstoppable. And it's actually very easy to see this line. So, frustrating end to that one, which I think was a pretty good game. Now, I don't know why I'm putting it on this because it's going to tell me it wasn't a good game. And this is where I blundered. Up to this, it was very, very close, and I blundered, but we managed to get back into it because of the time situation. And that's where he has to take a draw at the end, because if he doesn't take a draw here, this is actually checkmate. So I was desperately hoping he would try to play on somehow, because there's no way he can stop the bishop coming here. He's got to take a draw. He hasn't got any checkmate because my king. He needs to have a couple of moves. He needs to go rook here, but of course, just to demonstrate, he can't do that because of this checkmate. So a draw is all right in the end, I suppose. And we will get white in the next one. So 5.5 out of 8 would be a decent score. We could still potentially get 8.5, probably my highest score ever. But 8 is going to be tough now, but it's possible. And I know a lot of you say, why don't you just play and enjoy it? Why do you worry about what score you're on? Because it's a competition, and you want to get a good score. You want to challenge yourself. Otherwise, what's the point? I'm not just playing, oh yeah, I'll just create some art on the board. I'll do that anyway. But you kind of want you want to have everything. I'm greedy. I want to create some art. I want to create some checkmates. I want to get, I want to win. That's why, chess is a competition. And half the fun is the competition. You want to fight. It's we don't play it we don't like, oh yeah, I don't mind losing. Of course we mind losing. If you mind losing, you're a loser. That is words of wisdom from Ginger. Okay, we're sticking with d4 today, and we've got another tough opponent. We're gonna play some sharp d4 stuff. Mexico or Iran? Is that Iran? Okay. And the Iranian players generally underrated. I'm going to throw the h-pawn at him, the Harry attack. One of my favourite little lines, and this is a good move. And again, why does my memory fail me? Preparing this must be quite normal. And this, I think, is part of my chessball course. And again, people do criticise me. They say, well, you've done a course in this, why can't you remember it? Because I haven't got a very good memory anymore. Too much. Okay, now we push Harry, but you don't. I mean, memory's overrated anyway. Surely it's much more fun to relive experiences time and time again. Because otherwise, you can tell people can tell me the same joke every time they see me, and I will still laugh. And if I had a good memory, I'd be like, "What? Why are you telling me the same joke again? Why?" But this way people can be like, oh yeah, Simon, I've got a really funny joke, and I'll be like, oh right, yeah, and then they, I will laugh at their jokes because I know no better. If I had a good memory, I'll start to get annoyed with them. But I can have the same conversation day in, day out and enjoy myself. Right, I've got a nice position. We've got the open Harry file to attack. And this move looks natural. Takes, queen here. takes. Okay, this move is natural. I didn't even consider this one, but the point being, yeah, he takes here, I take here, he has to go queen f6, I take here, he takes here, I check, and the queens come off. So this is the line I was just calculating, and it looks like we might get it. So queen here, knight takes here, but there are now we look at the position, some other intriguing options. Knight here takes, but my main first line was takes queen in, which I don't think he's got enough compensation. His bishop's pretty good though. I mean, I could even take that bishop and just change plans here, but takes queen. I must have a win here. Must have a win. Takes, check, rook here. Okay, do we keep it that simple? Strange. It feels like there must be something really strong here. Knight takes here. Okay, I'm going to keep it simple, but not convinced by... This is my original plan of keeping it simple. Now, he can't go king here because of rook f1, so he has to get the queens off. And I assumed this would be pretty good for me, but I don't know. His bishop is a very good piece. It's exchange up, so I can't be worse. Really should not be worse here, but it's maybe not as bad as one might think. This is a very nice square for my knight in a lot of variations. Okay, so he's doing it this way, which is intriguing. Okay, we should take this off. Let's grab another pawn. Why not? Why not grab another pawn? And he's got now this lovely knight. What does he want to do? Bring his bishop out? Interesting sacrifice there that he's played. Okay. Interesting sacrifice. My knight didn't seem that good. I need to get rid of this guy. So I'm trying to find a better square for my knight. Centralized. Let's quickly put it there. And do I play this move? Does this help me? It gives him this option. Or do we have to retreat? I don't know why I'm spending so long on a rather simple move. Don't want to allow this. This is annoying. Shortened time already. Fuck. So rook coming in. Don't know if that achieves that. It's weird. It was a very clever sacrifice that he did. Very clever sacrifice, I think. Okay, so I'm going to play this now, definitely. He's making progress. This move now I've let him do, which is a bit silly of me. I've allowed these bishops to come to life, and I'm playing very passively. So I should be playing a bit more aggressively, I think, here. Okay. I've got to move quicker. This is abysmally slow, this moment in time. The reason I put my knight here is to counter this idea. So slow, aren't I? Position's still holding together for me. Don't want to get in a blitz battle. I'm threatening to take a bishop here. And I think he's fallen for it. I think he's allowed me to take a bishop. Wow. Unbelievable. And this is now well, completely winning because we get rid of the blockade as well. Oh, he's tricked me, the bastard. The bastard's tricked me. How did I fall for that? Unbelievable. Unbelievably mean trick that was. King here, what the fuck am I doing? Oh, you'll have to excuse my language. I'd get very excited or freaked out, and I can't believe that trick at the end he pulled of me. He gave another piece to trap my rook, and that completely just. Imagine if I lost that. I mean, you know, I haven't broken too many computers in my time, but there is a first. I'll put a light on there, and let's just have a look. So we're on a good score now. We're 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5. So 8.5 possible. It's not a bad score, not a great score, but it's not bad. 7 points is a good score in this. But okay, let's look at the end. And this was an amazing little. I mean, I'm completely winning, of course, because he fell for this trick. And he suddenly played this move, which is unbelievable. And it says, okay, so do I have a way out here? Rook d5. Oh, that's a much simpler way of winning. I kind of freaked out here because I was suddenly like, oh my god, his king's coming in, and like I've got back rank problems. This would have been nice because he has to take it, and now these guys will win the day. My king can come to d2, easily winning. We'll whack it on the old game review very quickly. 88, and you can see from the graph, never in danger. The Harry attack was good, but maybe, I mean, actually pretty smooth game, but maybe I had something better here instead of knight f3. And apart from that, all the moves I played were actually looking like the best moves. But knight f3 is such a normal move to play, right? But it reckons bishop b3 is better. But in the end, his king is so weak here, and I can always attack him somehow. So the opening was perfect, worked great. Okay, I'm gonna pause at my end, but you don't go anywhere because it's only gonna be a couple of seconds until we start the next round. Will I get 8 points? I need 2.5 out of 3. It's doable. It's doable. Still, the dream is alive. Okay, here we are for the last 3 games then, and you know we're on 5.5. So 2.5 out of 3 is a big score, so we can't lose a game. We've got white. We're gonna have to try and get off to a good start. If we get off to a good start, well, anything possible. So my opponent playing a pretty solid line here, and we'll grab that bishop like we did in an earlier round. And I remember my friend Grandmaster Stephen Gordon recommended this setup for white. He said it would suit me. It's quite aggressive. So Stephen, a great player, we'll take his word for it. God knows what I'm supposed to do next, though. Let's just develop my light square bishop. I guess my opponent's going to try and play for this move. So the bishop best on e2 because I don't want to run into an e4. We've got quite a positional game now. Now knight d2 seems like the move I want to play, but then this one drops at the end. So how are we going to do this? It might be transposing to something else here. Thinking about playing a crazy h4 move, but okay, let's go queen c2. And my opponent's opening has worked reasonably well here. Now I've got to play this, and this is going to ruin my structure here. Yeah, that's annoying. I assumed he would take here first, but of course he doesn't do that. And he's going to win this pawn. Knight here. He takes it the other way, but keep my dark square bishop. Okay, I think we have to gamble with some move like this now. We have to try and keep it complicated with potential ideas over here. And the other thing I'm trying to do, I mean, I'm going to lose a lot of pawns here, but if he grabs this pawn here, I've got bishop h4, and we at least stop his king castling queenside, which is how he will convert his extra pawn in this position. So this way we keep his king, I think, in the center for the time being. Now this pawn is a bit of an issue, but can we even play a crazy move like this now? Because we want to open things up, because we're ready to castle queenside. Because remember, we want to keep this stuck here. So he's going back to his plan of castling queenside. Now Tau would probably play this. Takes, knight. Okay, and we love Tau, so we're going to try to play like Tau. We're going to sacrifice a second pawn to try and keep his king in the center as long as possible. So of course he takes it, but we're just trying to keep lines open. And I think this was a very good plan, because now some pressure here. And if he, where does he put his knight? Knight here loses to takes, queen here check. And if he comes back, then I will come in. And we've managed to keep his king stuck in the center. Well, he can castle kingside, and he probably should castle kingside. I'm not convinced my king's any safer than his, because it's a bit weird. But this bishop was, I think, a very good way to play. And he's got to let my queen in now. And I don't know how he handles this. I honestly don't know how he handles the idea of me just coming in and winning the piece. So he's complicating it over here. Now pawn takes queen here. This is the way he plays it. Okay, so I think we do take with the pawn. Now takes here, king d2. Takes here, rook here. Okay, well, we've got to take this one. We've got to take this one. And now can't I just take his queen? What is this? I mean, the whole point of me coming in is that his queen is on free if he moves the knight. I thought he had to try this move. I don't think it worked, because I can simply go rook f1 as well as other options. But nice. We're on 6.5. Oh, if we get half out of 2, we get to 7, which is a good score. If we get 1.5 out of 2, the next game is massive. We get to the magical, the monstrous, the massive 8 points out of 11 in one of the hardest tournaments online. Oh, that was actually, I think I played all right there. The computer will say I'm an idiot, so yeah, come on, tell me I'm an idiot. Come on, let's do it. No, the computer actually says I'm the main man. Can you Adam and Eve it? 97%. Wow. I actually played well. Unbelievable. That was yeah, okay, I don't think I played that well, but I was happy the way I played, because it got very complex around here. And I have to try to complicate. And this idea of putting the bishop on h4, I think, is a very nice idea, because we managed to complicate. And then my next move, I think, is a great idea, because, well, maybe not the next one. This is fine. But now he's one move away from being relatively safe. And I do play the computer's top move. We need to open up lines for our pieces. I say that so many times. Open up lines. Give me a line on the chessboard. Give me a line. Give me a line. Yes. And there you go. We have some lines. Some train tracks going on. With now this move being a major blunder, because he's really in trouble. I thought his idea was at least coming in here, but I can even castle. So he blunders his queen. He makes it much easier for me in this position. But it's very, very, very tricky, because, yeah, this guy looks gone. And I think he has to go here. And now I was going to play rook f1, because the point being, our castle, there's a rook c8, queen takes e2. I want to play king d2 to keep things flexible. But then there's a bishop takes f3. So this move, I think, keeps him in a very bad situation. But this is game on. I mean, I've got lots of threats here, but there's still a game here, as the computer says after queen here. I still have to, you know, put this in the back of the net. But very happy with a couple of moves I played there, and the moves that seem to work very well in this position. My opening hasn't gone great, I'll admit to it, but this move, because it's starting to go very badly wrong, he's starting to pressurize me. So if I go backwards, remember what I said earlier, always look for the most active moves, try to play them, and this move is clearly the most active. You only get better if you play active chess. If you start playing passive chess, you're never going to improve. Oh, I didn't even mean to press that button. And now the bishop gets this great diagonal, so we got compensation with the pawn, and this f3 move is a good move because I don't want him winning another pawn. I can now open the position up sometimes. I can take the center, and this last move, these were 3 good moves in a row in a critical position, and they turn the game around and clearly confused my opponent. Okay, look, I'm going to pause it, but in 5 seconds the next game will start for you guys. I've got my CBD to calm my nerves. Not that it does anything, these drinks, at all. And I could get a massive score. There's 2 games to go. It's going to be tense. Can we do it? That was a big game. 2 more big games to go. Okay, we're in like Flynn. And if we can beat Ryo here, that is a game from Street Fighter. Already a bit of Hadouken scared. We can get a monstrous score. So massive game. And Ryo, is it Ryo from Street Fighter? I love that game. I was always the woman who did the spinny legs because she was cool. And I'm gonna go for some Black Lion Madness, but the thing is, this move is not so strong when they haven't played h3. And the thing is, I have left this pawn a little bit moist there as well by playing this move. So okay, we'll do it anyway, but I don't know why I played this move. I never normally play a move like this, and now this pawn is moist. So I'm not sure about my plan. Okay, so it's coming this way, so we've got to continue with our normal plan. I'm hoping if bishop e3 happens, b5 is alright, but I am playing a very dangerous game. The problem with putting a rook here is I can't castle queenside anymore, which I love doing in the black line. So we will take that one. We will bring the knight out, but I'd love to have the opportunity to castle queenside, which I don't have here. Now, we've got to attack the king. Now, do I put the king here, or do we play something a little bit more spicy, like h5? Do we even put the bishop on a better square now? Then his knight comes. Love h5 to work, but what about queen here? Weird move, but I want to get my pieces to checkmate him. And this pawn is weak, so this was the issue I was saying. But okay, well, we can do it because this is still a threat. Now he's come back and defended. Now I want to come knight in, but that's only a move that an absolute bloody nutter would play. So of course we play it. In like Flynn. Have it. Probably an atrocious move, but it's only a piece. And he doesn't even want it. That's a bit disappointing. Okay, can we now come? Okay, we've got to play Harry. We're fully committed now to trying to checkmate. Now, queen coming in here looks like an idea. So we'll play it. And I'm trying to get the pieces of doom around him. This is the move I want to play next. Bishop takes queen g2. Knight here. So he takes. Now I've got to open up the g file because I've got to threaten this move. Bishop g2. Rook here. Queen here. Queen takes queen. Rook G8 is my big put it in your pipe moment. We can take that one because we don't want the bishop coming around this way to defend. Rook G8 looking very, very scary at this moment in time. Is he going to put it in his pipe and smoke it?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he bloody well is. Fuck a duck. We're on 7.5 with 1 to go.
Oh, yeah. Look at that for a black line slaughter. Report me to animal welfare because that was ragged, rough, and deadly. Come on. We're 1 point away from 8.5. Half a point away from 8. I'm freaking out. But that game was mwah, mwah, mwah. As the Italians would say, mwah. I don't know what they'd say. I don't speak Italian. Lovely language, I'm sure. I'd love to go to Italy. If anyone out there listening is from Italy, hello, where should I go? Where should I go? I'd love to go to Italy. It's one country I haven't been to. And got a friend who's half Italian. And yeah, I'd love to go. I'd love to go. So yeah, I mean, let's make it happen. I know they still sell Tenant Super and the strong Tenant Super, the 9% are in Italy, and that's my brother goes. He drinks it all the time. That used to be my favourite drink. That and Special Brew. Yep, misspent youth. I did say it. So is that a reason to go to Italy to drink Tenant Super? What's wrong with me, man? What's wrong with me? Just go to a park bench and do it, Simon. You'll be much happier, probably. No, I won't. It feels much more classy in Italy. Oh, that game. That was just. I'm speechless. The computer is going to say I'm an idiot. Yep, of course. But it's the black line. The black line. The computer doesn't like the black line opening. It reckons it's a bit dodgy, but it's so much fun, right? Look at this. The computer says it's -1.5 for me. But, you know, in a practical game, it's dangerous. And this maneuver, I don't think is a very good maneuver. I do talk all about this in my chessball course. And obviously, if you want to support me, probably the best way is to buy a GingerGM course. Because they're very cheap as well. Like $20, you can get a very good course. So go, you know, it's all in the links below, gingergm.com. Or if you want to get a more fuller course, but more expensive with video, move trainer, get one of my chessball courses. You got money back guarantees of both of them. And just, you know, pick a course that will work well for you and you're bound to get better. But okay, this starts to get really exciting now. And that, I think there was some beautiful ideas there. So we do the standard, move the knight around. And now look at this. I like this move. This move just nibbles that one. Because if he goes f3, I'm going to go h5. And the whole point is my queen's not doing much there. But now I can dream of greener pastures. I don't want to lose this pawn. So this move, yeah, I was a bit critical. But what can you do? And now we start to have some fun. Is it a bluff? Quite possibly. But the only move there, it says, is actually for white to give the bishop back, which is not easy to see. So my opponent tries to defend, but now we keep hitting him. And look at the evaluation bar. It's starting to say, I'm a goddamn genius. And now the queen flies in. And this is a big threat. Let's just say he plays a6. I have other moves, but this move looked like a lot of fun. Obviously it loses. But it looks cool, doesn't it? The better way to play is to take here and open up the h file, which I'm hoping I would have seen during the game. But this is, I think he's just completely thrown by this my crazy play, because he takes here. But after this one, there's no good way to stop the rook coming to g8. You know, this is completely game over. Okay, he maybe can try this, but already my queen is dangerous, my rook's coming in, my pawn is good, and his position has collapsed. So the dream is there. There's one game to go. I'm going to play someone very good. Let's actually see where we are on the standings, because it's got to be up there, right? I mean, I've got to be like, look at that, 20th at the moment with one game to go. Oh my god. Okay, it's going down quickly, but I'm up there. I'm on a very good score group. And the next game, I could get the highest score that I've ever got, 8.5. Come on, fingers crossed, boys and girls. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm going to pause it, but you will be in with the action in a matter of seconds. If I get the white pieces, I'll be happy, but another black line, we can just roll those dice as well. It could be an amazing Title Tuesday. Okay, we got the white pieces. We're playing, I think, a young prodigy from Ukraine, but we're one game away from potentially getting the biggest score ever. Now, we've had this many times, this variation. We're going into a Queen's Gambit, and again, I'm just trying to remember what to do here. And bishop d3 first, maybe. And let's just play some sensible moves. Now, I know my opponent is playing also quite sensible. So he's playing quickly, so he clearly knows what he's doing. But this should be a little bit better for me, surely. So this is the one move that he's going to do next. So what do we do to face this? Do we just put the rooks in the middle? Let's try that. Now, am I worried about this move? I don't know if I am. So I'm going to just put my rooks, because c5 is the main break that he's got up his sleeve. So we want to get ready for that one. Now, this is the other idea I can play. And this would be more aggressive. This is more me. It's more trying to get rid of the knight here so we can checkmate him on h7. So rook c1 was the positional approach. But we're going for the, checkmate ends the game approach. e5, go for h7, kill, d5, e5, these moves. So now the bishop coming here looks logical because we're lining up against h7. So we're getting ready to unleash this Doom Bar. Great drink, Doom Bar. Now this is also playable here, but I don't see anything wrong with putting the knight on this square, because we can go back to playing it positionally and putting a rook on c1 and controlling c5. You know, he's got very big weaknesses along here. If he doesn't play c5, so he's come back now. Unbelievably variation here, really. And getting a bit nervous because my position, to my eyes, is getting better and better. Okay, so let's play a normal move. Let's not freak out. And he's trying to get this in, but surely we're well prepared for this now. Okay. Now, move the bishop back. If he plays c5, I can take it. And that stops his knight from taking. And if he takes to the bishop, there might be a bishop d6. Some other ideas of this is we have still the queen shuffle coming in here, and maybe a knight c5 at an opportune moment. Maybe knight c5 should be coming very, very soon here. My heart is pounding. There ain't no CBD that you can take for this shit, I'll tell you that. I really want to go for the attack, but we want to keep things under control in every area, because this gives away a massive square. Now this move, I feel, could be good. Let's do it. Let's come in. It stops his idea of breaking out. It might not be the most accurate, but my rooks are well positioned. If he doesn't take this, my knight becomes very good, so he's taking it. Okay. Now, here, knight here, queen here. Let's go. Let's go from the attack now. And I'm playing this quite risky, clearly. But checkmate ends the game. If g6, my bishop comes in here. I don't think he's got any choice. He had to do that. So I might be picking up the exchange now, but I'd love to not worry about that and try to checkmate him on this square. No reason to take that rook until I have to. He probably should play something like this, whereas knight then has options of moving. Queen here, Bishop d3. And the game goes on. Queen here. Maybe I just transfer my queen over here. So now h4 I will play, because we're not interested in taking this one. We're interested in keeping the initiative going. And now he's threatening a knight move, so I should move my queen to this square, which is obviously a logical square to keep initiative going. I should maybe watch out for this f5 move, which could come at any moment, and he's played it. But okay, we take. And if he takes the knight, we can come in here. He takes with the rook. But we keep attacking. Like I say, we're not that interested in winning the exchange. We're interested in checkmate. Knight e5, maybe we should have come, but got a big initiative here. And we still have ideas of the knight coming in to e5. So he's giving up the exchange in this position. But his knight's very good here. And this position is not so clear anymore. His knight is very powerful here. Can we go here? I guess we can, but then knight here comes. All right. Okay, let's go here. Keep it safe as can be. Try to make some exchanges. It's getting very tricky here, this check now. Let's take off some pieces, as many as we can. Got to get those pieces off. This looks very good. Only chances for him to do this. Can we win this ending? It's a massive game for me, this. Can we get through somehow here? Got to use our king to come in. Don't want to drop a pawn. How do we do this, guys? How do we do this? How are we going to do this? We're gonna have to gambit it. Duck. He's got a very good chance of the draw now. Get in there, son! Get in there! Get in there! Get in! Get in! 8.5
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, son. Whew.
Oh, my biggest ever score in Type Tuesday. You just witness it, boys and girls. 8.5 out of 11. That's not bad. Come on. And we're in control for most of that game. That feels weird. If you want to support, make sure you throw a like, make sure you throw a subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, go to the GingerGM shop, buy something, or just don't and enjoy it, you know. And let's just see where we ended up in this tournament, because this is a strong tournament, and I don't think I've ever done better than that. Look, we came 16th. Look at that. Look at that. That is pretty damn tasty. 16th. I'm just going to say that one more time. 16th. Oh, yeah. And let's just have a look at some of the players we came above. Well, we came above Magnus, because I can't see Magnus's name there. So we came above the best player in the world. And look, we came above Gotham. Only because we didn't have to play him, obviously. And going down, that's not me. Why are you trying to give me less points? I'm there. We came 12th. 12th. Look at that. It's getting better. 12th. 12th place. That is pretty phenomenal. I don't really know what to say. I mean, wow. That is a massive score. And yeah, we're scrolling down. There's massive names below us. 12th out of 681 of the best chess players online. Boys and girls, you just witnessed my best ever Type Tuesday. I've got a smile on my face. I might even treat myself to a Tenant Super later and a pack of 6. No, I'm joking. Don't smoke. Smoking's horrendous. I'd give it up. It's the worst thing you can ever do. But Tenant Super, that's fine, kids. No, it's not either. Don't do that. Cheers, boys and girls. Throw a like, throw a subscribe, and thank you for your support. Bye.